Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scotty Yang alongside with Keith Fong. We're bringing you 2026 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championships Division 3 Group B. This game, the third game for today, between Hong Kong, China and Mongolia. These two teams, Hong Kong, China, ranked fourth right now. They are 1-0-0-1 with 3 points in 2 games. Mongolia still looking for the first win. 2 games lost in 2 games, including a game against Uzbekistan where they were beaten up really badly, and they are now in 5th place. This game becomes a crucial game as Mongolia wants to take a win. With any points here, these teams would have a better chance at avoiding relegation. And Hong Kong with 3 points in hand already, they would want to win this one to be in the fight for a medal. Alongside with me is Keith Fong, Venue and Operations Director and part-time color commentator. Keith, these two teams you're very familiar with. Any insights before the game?
Well, first off, some good news for our team Hong Kong, China. Number 6, Brian Tang, will be playing this game, even though he had that major penalty last game. But as you can tell in the video review, there was clearly not a headshot, so he's clear to play. So good for Hong Kong as they need him, as so far he's his top offensive player for the team. And for Mongolia, you look out for number 10 there, Batu. They're big defenseman, center, everything. He's on the ice all the time, and look for him to lead his team in this game.
The officials for today. The referee from Spain, Carlos Trabajo. Linespersons from Australia, Nicholas Eyre, and from Singapore, Benjamin Huang Chi Wei. 3 full periods of full contact ice hockey action here, and this crucial game between Hong Kong, China and Mongolia. This game here will change the course and direct the course of the tournament for the next few days.
Also want to give a shout out to Puiji. He's watching from San Jose, his son, number 5. He's going to be playing this game, so just want to say hi to Puji, longtime friend, and a great supporter for Mongolian ice hockey.
Hong Kong, China looking to start their goalie, Moses Feng. And for Mongolia, still the number 1 Hmong Bold by Yar Sai-kun. And again, I've learned, the Mongolians, they go by their given names. So you would find their given names on the backs of the jerseys. For example, number 10, my favorite player, Batu Baturovic. He's always known as Batu, so that's also how we would announce him as number 10, Batu. And for Mongolia, number 10, Batu, number 11, Chinzobu, and number 7, Nyamdama. And number 9, Jadamba. These players are going to be the key forwards or key players for the Mongolian squad. And we're all ready for the start of the game. Obviously, being the home team, Hong Kong, China, lots of fans showing up to show their support for the team. And in white, playing on the right side of your screen, it's Hong Kong, China. And we do sometimes announce them as Hong Kong. Sometimes when the action is so quick, we just have to drop China. But everyone knows in the world, Hong Kong is part of China. So I think we're good. And here's number 5, Wang Qingyu with the puck. Now Hong Kong plays with a lot of speed, as you may know. Here's number 24, Wat Tin Lok Jovi. Spins around looking for a player. And here's Wat Tin Lok with possession again. flips it up into the attacking zone now. Mongolia coming in with some speed on the right side. Mongolia in front of the net. Now, Keith, I know you know Mongolia for a long time, and you probably know them. Well, me, I know Mongolia from way back. And Mongolia used to be a very chippy team, very physical, not the fastest, but we've seen this young generation in Mongolia. Do you know anything about them? Can you tell our viewers a little more about Mongolia?
Well, to be honest with you, Scotty, I haven't really followed a lot the recent new generation of players. However, we all know the Mongolian players are all tough. I mean, I just saw Ryan Wong there just took a hit from Batu, and he looks like he's a little bit injured on the bench. He's getting attended to right now, so hopefully he's okay. But back to it, these Mongolian players are tough, they're skilled, and it's going to be hard to really knock them off off the puck.
Mongolia has a very long tradition in ice hockey, but it used to be more about playing outdoors, because they used to play outdoors a lot, and there's like 3 to 4 months of minus 30 degrees. So if you play outdoors at minus 30 degrees, you just have to be tough. And not until recently, Mongolia has a very nice facility and ice rink. And that's where they have developed their newer generation of players. And that's why we're seeing more than that. We're seeing a multi-directional play style with Mongolia. They have speed, they have finesse, and they're playing with a good mix between physicality and speed.
Well, like you said, all they had was an outdoor. Let's just watch here. Just after the whistle, Hong Kong's got to be careful. They don't want to take any unnecessary penalties here. But back to your point, yeah, Mongolia played all their hockey outdoors, and just recently, in the last few years, they finally had an arena.
Yes.
Mongolia has one, but Hong Kong doesn't have their own facility.
They're a much larger region.
The facility I heard is it's state of the art. It seats about 4,000 to 5,000, and it's great for the program to develop.
Anytime especially in Asia or East Asia, Southeast Asia, when the place, you get a reasonably priced arena or support from the government. That's when the sport would shoot up exponentially. Here comes Hong Kong, China with a chance in front, unable to let up a shot. Hong Kong, China, as we've seen them play over the past 2 games, they play with a lot of speed, and when they are allowed to utilize their speed, usually they do pretty well. Here comes Hong Kong, China. That one just missed. Rebounded by Mongolia out of their own zone now. And again, as we've seen with Hong Kong, China, whenever they play against an opponent that's a little more physical and willing to throw their bodies around, that's when the speed of Hong Kong, China cannot become a factor in the game. And it's essential for Hong Kong, China to control the pace of the game early on and establish that we're playing a fast-paced game and force the other team to catch up with your speed. And that's going to be the game plan for Hong Kong, China if I were the coach.
Well, Hong Kong's got to make sure they don't just take runs at players. I mean, pick your spots. You don't want to waste your energy by unnecessary hits. So hit when you need to. Here's a chance here. Scores! There we go. That's what you got to do. Just take some shots at the net, crash the net, pick up the rebound. It looks like number 18 Zhang on the rebound there. Hong Kong leads 1-0.
That's what I said. You need to use your speed early on. Establish the fact that we're playing a high-paced game. Catch up with us, and that's what they did exactly. They used the speed, explosive acceleration, the speed past everyone. The first shot didn't go in, but they were able to pick up the rebound. The trailing player did a great job following the play, and that's what gives them the goal here. 1-0 Hong Kong, China with the early goal. That's an offside played. determined by the linesperson from Singapore, Benjamin Wong. And 1-0 the score. And now for Mongolia to come back, they would need to play their own style. They would need to establish their physicality, cut off the passing points, get to the players. You know these Hong Kong Chinese players are going to be quick. So play that position and don't lose your assignments. Puck goes into the corner. Mongolia sends it out of their own zone. Hong Kong China interception. Going into the zone, sends it into the other side of the corner. Mongolia sends it out, and we have a whistle here.
I'm just looking at the Hong Kong bench. It looks like number 11, Ryan Wong, is still getting looked after by the trainer. I see a bandage actually on his head, but he's putting on his helmet, so tough kid. He's coming back, patching up probably the cut he got from that hit.
The coaching staff knows the importance of this game, and they're going to make sure everyone goes to play. Here comes Hong Kong China with the puck in the forward in the attacking zone. Mongolians try to clear it out. Now Batu gets it, the 2-meter tall player. Into the neutral zone. Hong Kong China sends it back in. Batu with the chase. 2 days ago, we saw Batu playing almost the entire game. He does go back into the bench to take breaks, but not very often. He's been playing in Japan in the XHL. He was in the Australian Ice Hockey League. He has a lot of experience from overseas, and now we have another stoppage.
So we see Moses Fung with his start tonight, so good for him. I'm sure he's glad to get back into the nets and to give Hong Kong a really good chance here to win. So, I mean, Hong Kong's got two great goalies there with, Rexton, two young great goalies, Rexton and Moses. You can't go wrong with either one of them.
Hong Kong China in the neutral zone sends it down the ice to the corner. Picked up by Mongolia. 1-0 to score, 14:06 to go. Mongolian bench called for a penalty. The referee didn't. Play goes on. Mongolia chips it out into the neutral zone. Giving chase, number 22, Dolgoon. Hong Kong China, number 10, Brendan Choi, their point man, sends it. Nice pass to the left side into the corner. Mongolia coming out with the puck. Number 11, Shinzobu, one of the top players, shoots, hits the leg. Now Hong Kong China with a chance. Out in front, 2-on-2, sends it across and missed the pass. Number 14, Anchak Long, as better known as Bob. Batu with a great pass. This one intercepted by Yam Yi, number 22. Mongolia becoming more and more physical. A lot of stick work, a lot of pushing, a lot of stopping, a lot of checking. And now Mongolia coming out. Goalie Moses Fung comes out to play the puck. Gets it back. Number 7, Yam Debar. The point man, nice tip in by number 17, Zengel. There's a shot by Batu. No calls there. Here's another hit by Batu. Brian Tang, number 6, goes the other way around. Neandavar, Brian Tang, and there is an offside call.
Yeah, just Michael Shum there just couldn't clear the zone in time, and it was a good call by the linesman for the offside. So it's back to Moses Fung. I think one advantage of Hong Kong is that Moses plays the puck very well. You saw that last play there when he's in the corner, and he gets the puck up to the forwards there. So that's going to be an advantage for Team Hong Kong China.
$12:15 to go in the opening period. Number 18, Seng Pit Hing. I was told he was also known as Kaka. It's Giroux. Cross ice pass. Back towards Giroux. Back to Batu with a long shot. Gloved down by Moses Fung. Moses spins around and get away from the harm.
You know, Moses hasn't played since the last game of the U18 tournament, so I think he's excited to be in the net and glad to have a few shots to get all warmed up here.
Here's a shot with Bogun and a glove save by Moses Fung. Face off in the Hong Kong Chinese zone, up by a goal. Right now, Hong Kong China is 3 points back behind Luxembourg and DPR Korea in 4th place. A win here would mean a 3-way tie between these 3 teams. And Mongolia is also wanting to get into the win column. They are right now still mathematically able to compete for a medal. And there's also the risk, if they do not win any games or they don't amass enough points, they might run into the risk of being relegated into Division 4. Here is Batu. Mungtuga sends it down the right flanks. Brendan Choi moves in. Backhand, goalie made the save. And we have a whistle.
Yeah. So as you can see, the Mongolian defenseman went into the net, accidentally knocks it off. So the rule is that if the defensive team knocks the net off, they cannot make a change. So that's why you see the linesman went to the bench and put his arm up, said no change. So the 5 same Mongolian players will need to be on the ice for this face-off.
And Batu's saying, I don't care. I'm not getting out anyway.
He wasn't going to change anyway, was he?
Right. I really like his play style, although ideally I would love to see him rest a little more. But clearly he's going to be a staple for the Mongolian squad. Here is a huge hit along the boards, exerting dominance in terms of physicality for Mongolians. It's Yam Yi putting the puck back. Brian Tang not afraid to throw a hit his own. Also going into, here's Batu in the corner. Bringing the puck back into the blue line. Hong Kong China goes back to collect the puck. Yam Yi on the left side. Banks it back. Oh, that's going to be a risky play here. Just enough time to get it back to Yam Yi. Brian Tang off the boards to Bob Ngan. Back to Brian Tang. Going down low. On the point is Wang Qingyu. And in the neutral zone, it's number 11, Shinzobu, waiting for the puck. Here's another shot. This one saved by the goalie. It's a risky gamble, with Shinzobu playing so deep out into the neutral zone. They're really playing one man short.
Yeah, if you watch his playing style, he doesn't really stand or right in the crease. He's kind of all over the place. So Hong Kong might pick that up and see what they can do to maybe have a little patience there and pick the corners on him.
Face-up win for Hong Kong, China. Wang Qingyu with the long shot, glove down. And look at the size difference between Curtis Chan and Batu.
I think any of the players compared to Batu is going to be a little smaller.
Batu is by far the tallest player in the tournament. The closest I could think of is probably from Uzbekistan. Siniavsky, 6'4", 1.94, and Daniel Colgan, 6'5". In Luxembourg, Charlie Springer, 1.94, 6'4". But out of all these players, I do think, well, maybe perhaps with the exception of the Uzbekistani players, Batu probably have the softest hands. It's very, very rare with the player his size. Here comes Hong Kong, China, looking for a wraparound, skates back the other side. Ryan Lee chips it into the attacking zone, and his teammates go for a change. Now Mongolians catching them with a bad change, but decided to shoot from the blue line.
As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, back to our buddy at Batu here, he plays defense, he plays the wing, and you saw the last face-off, he takes center and he wins the draw, so he's doing everything except maybe play goalie. Yeah.
Yet, maybe he does at home. Here comes a quick shot from Mongolia. Mongolia, number 12, Wayan Munk from behind the net. Niam Davar with a long shot. This one fanned. And now Hong Kong, China goes the other way around. Number 4, Chao Chi Lok. Batu to the right with a long shot. Rebound. Picked up by Hong Kong, China. Jadamba waiting for the rebound in front of the net. Here's Batu again. Batu with the puck. Sends it down. First to the puck. It's number 19, Lak Vadurj. Jadamba chips it in. Back behind the net. Hong Kong tries to chips it out of their own zone. Here's a little shot of their goalie, Moses Fung with the save. Icing call against Hong Kong, China.
Yeah, you can see Mongolians' game plan here, playing the physical game, and it's actually taking its toll on Team Hong Kong here. Hong Kong, once they have the puck, they're just dumping it out, and now they've iced the puck. So Hong Kong's got to watch out for these hits.
Like 2 days ago, we remember Hong Kong just need to remember to stay out of the penalty box. Here's Hong Kong, China coming in. Loko Wong. Brandon Choi alone, the puck behind his net. Very dangerous player there, risky. Loses the puck. Yam Yi with a shot, with a check into the boards. And there is going to be a whistle.
Yeah, looks like the net's off here. But back to that last face-off. So after an icing play, Hong Kong gets control of it. And Julian Chow comes up. I mean, he needs to cross that center line and dump that puck out to get a change. But he loses the puck here in the neutral zone. And Mongolia comes back for another chance down in their zone. So fortunately, the net got off, and both teams allowed to make a change.
Mongolia coming in for a hit. Referee let it play. Batu with a nice little move there, just to avoid being Slash from behind, but shaking his palm. Probably the slash got the back of his hand. Yam Yao taking the puck. Brian Tang with the feed up front, wrapping around Ryan Chu. Ryan Chu to Wang Qingyu. Wang with the long shot, hit a leg. Puck collected by Yam Yao, sends it down deep into the corner. And we're going to have a whistle here.
Yeah, referee has his arm up there. Looks like a kneeing penalty as the Mongolian player sticks his knee out there. Hong Kong will have the first power play of the game. Tripping call.
Number 16, Patpayasa Gian. I'm sure I didn't get that one right. I haven't seen him much last 2 games. Let me try it again. Patpayas Gayan. Oh, my eyes getting to me. Patpayas Galan. That's it. In the box for 2 minutes. Here comes Mongolia with a breakout. Going in, number 11. Goes in, unable to let off the shot. That's Chinzobu, number 11. Chinzobu standing in front of the crease, waiting for the puck to get to him. He almost gets it. And now, Hong Kong, China, number 19, Justin Cheng to Brandon Choi. Choi moves it up front, that's going to be icing.
Looks like Hong Kong is gets a little nerves here. They won the face-off, but the puck back to the point, they bobbled it up and gave Mongolia a chance. So they just need to keep it simple, short passes, and get set here on this power play.
1:24 to go in the power play. Here we go. Bryant Tang. Move past one, couldn't get past the second. Forces his way through, and now puck is back into the neutral zone. Here is Brendan Choi on the right side. Going in, takes a hit, sends it back, and Chinzobu gets it. And here is a race for the puck. Slap shot, goalie made a great save here. Or I should say the puck hit the goalie. It was so close to the goalie, the slap shot. It has to be Moses Fung playing the angles correctly. That's a risky play by Brandon Choi. And there's Brian Tang, weaves his way in. Centering pass, knocked out by Mongolia. Still Brian Tang with a nice feed onto the left side shoot. Rebound, and they score.
We said his name earlier in the game, Ryan Wong. Standing in front, picking up the rebound. Great play by Brian. As we watch the replay, he passed over to Michael Shum here. Shum with the shot. The rebound. Ryan with the goal.
5:15 to go in the opening period. Here's a shot onto the boards, not picked up by the referee. Number 9, Loco Wong. Trying to get it out. I'm sorry, number 9. I was too busy with stuff here. Here is Bob Ngan to Michael Shum on the left. Michael Shum with the shot, this one wide. On to the right is Curtis Chan. Picked up by Michael Shum. Shum with the puck, feed it to Chan. Chan with it. Chadamba sends it in. Not enough players in the forward zone as Mongolian team taking a change. Brendan Choi moves in again down the goal line. Yam Yao sends it back down deep. Brendan Choi pokes it through. Now sends it the other way. 4 minutes remaining in opening period. 2-0 lead Hong Kong. Ryan Chu on the side. Mongolia gets out with it. 2-on-4. Yam Yi takes a shot, chips it back out. Kaka Cheng. Here's a shot, saved by Moses Fung. And Yam Yao with it. Ryan Chu with a shot, gloved down by the goalie. Very good glove there. And here's Batu. Batu chips it out. Finds Curtis Chan. Curtis Chan gets it to Ryan Chu. Batu with a good shot. Good pass there. Moves and shoots. Goalie made a great save. Rebounded by Hong Kong China with 3:13 to go in the opening period. Chinzobu with the puck. Along the side, sends it in. A shot. Goalie save. Batu on the left side. Huge hit. And a player being hit. Getting up. Looking okay. Here's a chip in front of the goalie. Now Mongolia thinking about getting changed. Batu with it. On to the right side. Mongolia under 3 minutes to go. Okgonot sends it to Chinzobu with a shot. And they score! I thought Moses Fung had it. But he didn't.
Well, Moses made some great saves earlier here, but this shot here looks like it goes underneath his arm and behind him. As we see this other angle here, the shot comes and just goes right through him. And Mongolia cuts the lead in half.
2-1 Hong Kong, China. Referee helping Batu with his straps. Batu looks very big here, but when he's off ice with all his gear off, he's a lean guy, very slim, tender, lean guy. It's just that he's tall and he plays very physical. 2:27 to go, 2-1 Hong Kong, China. Mongolia back to within 1. And we hear the local fans cheering, of course, for Hong Kong, China. Face-off in the Mongolian zone. Wong Wai Sum with the face-off, taking the face-off for Hong Kong, China. And whistle from the referee. What does that twisting motion mean?
I'm just saying that the Mongolian player moved a little quick, so it's usually one warning, but in the IIHF, they do not throw the centerman out no matter what situation. So you get one warning, second face-off violation will be a penalty.
Puck behind the Mongolian net, picked up by Mongolia. Puck chipped out of bounds into the where our camera buddy is.
Yeah. So number 15 there shot the puck over the glass. It's going to be a puck over the glass penalty. Hong Kong will be back on the power play.
We do have an area open to our camera crew, as well as some of the VIPs would get to go into the viewing area, but flying pucks, just be careful. Face up in the Mongolian zone. Batu sends it down the ice. Very good skill too. Look at the elevation he gets with the puck. Hong Kong, China with the power play. Chip the other way by Mongolia. Here's a shot. Goalie made another save. Rebound behind the goalie. Now Mongolia tries to chip it away. Number 9, Ryan Chu with the puck. Ryan Chu sends it to the right side. Mongolia chipping, playing chippy now. Lots of hits, lots of pushing, shoving around. They need to be careful, and there is a goal for Hong Kong, China. 3-1 to score. They've regained their 2-goal lead.
Hong Kong takes some hacks at the front of the net there, but they made a nice play. As mentioned, the goalies, all over the place. And Brian Tang with the power play goal. Hong Kong with a 3-1 lead. Here, you watch the replay again. Back to Brian. Puts it away.
3-1 just before the first period ends. A minute 22 to go. Here is another shot. That one might have hit something. I heard metal. And puck goes the other way. Mongolia bunching up behind the net. Goalie pushes the puck away. With the puck, number 18, Kaka Cheng. Pit Hing with the shot. Goalie with the shot. Rebound. Goalie with another pad save. About 2 now with the puck. Sends it down the ice. It's number 7, Yam Dava. 50 seconds to go. Hong Kong, China with a lot of pressure here just before the period ends. And now there's a shot in front of the Hong Kong net. Into the corner. In front of the goalie is number 12, Bayan Munk.
Yeah. So the little melee here in that corner, and Hong Kong defender number 5, Wang, is now going to be penalized. Well, it looks like a cross check. And now, with 33 seconds left here in the first period, Mongolia has a chance here to cut the lead back to 1.
And we're hearing chants from Mongolia. And it's a nice matchup outside the rink. The Hong Kong Chinese fans chanting, here's for 2 with a pass. And now Hong Kong China gets it out. Chinzobu to Altonot. 17 seconds remaining. That's a risky play with Altonot. Should have played a little more attention to the time. 10 seconds to go in the period. Hong Kong China making some moves. Spins around and shoot. And that's it for the first period. 3-1 to score. Mongolia still with a power play, and they will start the second period with a minute 27 man advantage.
Well, Hong Kong took a 2-0 lead, but you saw Mongolia with their physical play, and then they got a goal and got the momentum. But that penalty with the puck over the glass gave Hong Kong a power play, and they needed that goal to gain the momentum back, heading into the period with a 2-goal lead.
We'll take a short break. When we're back, we'll have the second period for you guys. We welcome everyone back to DB Ice Rink in Discovery Bay, Hong Kong, China. We are the 2026 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championships Division 3 Group B. This is the third game on day 4. Hong Kong, China playing host to Mongolia. After one period of play, Hong Kong, China leads 3-1 alongside with Keith Fong. My name is Scott Yang. We would like to welcome you back to the game.
Well, Hong Kong's going to start this period short-handed. They have to kill a minute 27 off this penalty. And as we get ready here for the face-off.
And we have face-off. Both teams change sides. And again, this is the second period with the benches buried deep into the attack zone, so teams would have to look out for offsides. We've seen them in every single game in this tournament. Here is a shot by Batu. Wow, such a great shot. He almost broke the glass. And the shot was deflected. It was how hard it was. Going in the back, collecting the puck, number 17, Tang Zengel. Zengel plays it up front. Curtis Chan with the puck, and we have a hand pass signal, I think. What was it, Keith?
Oh, it looks like a hand pass, so the face-off is going to be outside of the Hong Kong-China zone. And 40 seconds left here on the penalty.
Mongolia still having a man advantage. Batu with the puck. Forces his way through with his long stick. Mongolia keeps it in his own, spins around. Nice play there to protect the puck. Centering pass. Number 17, Zengel, just touched it, not quite enough to direct it to the net. Shinzobu on the right side, sharp ankle shot, Batu unable to keep it in, and it's deemed offside by the linesperson.
I saw Ryan Wong, the number 11, had a little chat with him just before he got on the ice. I said, "Hey, are you okay?" He said, "Yeah." I mean, he says this is hockey. He took a big hit, then he scores a goal. So great attitude, well done. He represents the Black Dragons on the HKL.
which the HKL resumes on Monday, just one day after the final day of the tournament. And this Sunday will mark the final day of the trio, the under-18, the women's and the men's World Championships, a very aggressive project by our chairman, Mr. Sherman Chan of the Hong Kong China Ice Hockey Association. It's been a pleasure to bring all these games to you. Here's Batu with the breakout, Batu with the shot. That one went wide. Or maybe Moses Fung had a touch of it. And make sure I get that down on the replay. But that giant with some speed, which is not usually the case. Here's a nice shot of Hong Kong. Brian Tang with a point-blank shot, blocked by the goalie in Monkbold. Here is Chinzobu to Batu, shoots and gloved down by the goalie. A series of saves by Moses Fung here. Here's the first one.
You can see the strength of Batu comes in and just forces his way in, takes a shot. Great positioning by Moses as he makes the big save.
And here's another one coming in with a huge glove save. Very confident goalie coming into this game, playing very hard to tell the coaching staff, hey, play me, play me. That's what the battle between goalies is all about. It's everyone fighting for ice time. There's only one starting goalie position. And every time a goalie gets to play, they try to play the hardest to impress the coaches.
Well, like I said, Hong Kong can't go wrong with either of the two young goalies. They both play well during the season, and it's proven right here in this tournament. Great to see Moses here with some big saves.
And also the third goalie tonight, not dressed, it's number 25, Chung Ching Ho, also known as Horace Chung. He's the most experienced goalie out of the three, and he's giving way to the two younger goalies. These two goalies also played in the U18 tournament not long ago.
Yeah, Horace is also having a great year in the HKL. Unfortunately, he has a tweak, I should say his injury, but which allowed Horace and Rexton to have a chance to play some case in this tournament.
3-1 to score, 17-16 remaining in the second period. We also like to thank all the guests who's visiting us today. We're honored to be able to host these games here, and with the great support from our government, we're hoping for even more support in the future. And just listen to the crowd chanting Hong Kong, Hong Kong. Sports is something that could unite your people. Here is Mongolia going the other way. 3-on-2 opportunity. Chinzobu on the left side with a shot deflected by the goalie. Puck out of bounds and face off in the Hong Kong Chinese zone.
And as you mentioned, we have some great support by, the fans, friends, family, everybody, and looking forward to some more support from the government as we are winding down here on this third World Championships hosted by Hong Kong, China.
In Hong Kong, China, like Philippines, we have a shopping center ice rink culture here, where most, if not all, of our standard size ice rinks are located in commercial facilities like a shopping center, including DB Ice Rink. So that alone brings a lot of logistics, barriers, facilities, because these are not built, purpose-built ice rinks. So, and the ice time ranks as some of the highest in the world. I'm sure, Keith, you know about that.
Yeah, but thanks to DB Ice Rink, who's done an excellent job so far with all these events, changing some of the shops to dressing rooms to, make it like a real arena. So we've been getting some very good comments from all the teams, from the IIHF. So thank you for everyone's support.
And we do things the Hong Kong Chinese way. I think that's what it is. Here's a sharp angle shot by Mongolia. Goalie made a great blocker save. Here comes the puck on the other side. Tries a stretch pass, and there's a huge hit. Now play intensifies, letting us know to stick with the game and not wander off with our chatter. Here's Hong Kong China on the right, left side with Joe Viewat with a shot. Goalie in position to make a great save here. Number 6, Mongolia, Gerard on the other side. Very smart play. Stops, spins around, keeps it onside. Tries to shoot it in now. Hong Kong China goes the other way. Dian Demar goes on the foot race against Joe Viewat. Hong Kong caught on a bad change, and I told you so. I would so love to say that. But unfortunately, Hong Kong China fell into the trap of where the benches are located.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, the player that played the puck, Bob Ang, he was actually still on the ice. And the player that was changing was actually not in the play. So, I don't know, as a referee there, I probably would have let it go because it wasn't the player that got onto the ice that played the puck. However, the linesman made that call. It's unfortunate. Now Hong Kong is shorthanded once again.
When you're in a offside position and you go and make a change, you are still in an offside position. That's how the linespersons have been working this tournament. Well, actually, this and the last two. In that situation, the attacking team would have to clear offside, meaning the team would have to get back out into the neutral zone, and then you can clear and enter the zone again. That is one of the tricky parts of this rink here. It's Chinzobu with the puck, spins around, sends it down deep. Hong Kong China down a man. A hit along the boards and puck back into the Mongolian zone. Chinzobu going back. This fantastic two-way forward everywhere on the ice and seemingly unable to run out of energy. Just like Batu. Here's Chinzobu with a shot. Goalie made a save. Rebound behind the goalie. Tries to clear it with this long reach. Batu stops the puck. Keeps it in the zone. Now Hong Kong China with a breakout. Brendan Choi with the speed coming in. Almost a breakaway. But last second with a little slap. Taps the puck away from Brandon Choi. And Brian Tang on the other side. With possession, Brandon Choi, that's a delayed penalty for Hong Kong against Mongolia. And that would be a whistle from the referee for a slashing call.
Yeah, there was a bit of a delayed call, but that's one thing I was thinking about, Scotty. Could have been a penalty shot. Looks like the referee now is calling a penalty shot, which I think it is the correct call. Brendan Choi was in the clear and he got slashed. So not just that, he lost the opportunity. The puck came loose, and because of a three-man system, it looks like the linesman came in and actually helped the referee make that call, but it is the correct call. Hong Kong will have a penalty shot, one of the most exciting plays in hockey.
Taking a shot, number 6, Brian Tang. Obviously the best player for the choice.
So in the IIHF, when there's a penalty shot, the coach can choose any player that can shoot. So looks like Brian's gonna take it right now.
Brian Tang taking it slow. And he scores.
Look at the replay here. He goes in slow, but then it looks like he picks up speed, takes a look, picks his spot, rips it over the glove. It is considered a shorthanded goal. Hong Kong now leads 4-1.
We're also seeing the shopping center security being more and more lenient towards our fans here. Remember, the first time they brought in the horns, they were not quite happy with it. They kind of asked them not to do it, and I think we're getting more and more horns around the arena, right, the rink now, and they're seemingly okay with it. 4-1 the score, Hong Kong, China up by 3 goals. Still 28 seconds remaining in the power play to Mongolia. Here's a cover for Moses Fung.
I mean, despite the penalties and being shorthanded, this is what Hong Kong needs to do. They just need to play a smart game. Don't need to be chasing. Don't need to be going out, throwing out these hits, and giving up these opportunities. So let's hope Hong Kong can keep it up.
Shots on goals are even at 19 apiece. Mongolia from behind the net to Chinzobu, unable to get the puck. Here is a foot race to the puck. Mongolia there first. Bayan Munk, number 12. Nice touch pass. Going out the puck again is Bayan Munk, number 12. Behind him, number 9, Ryan Chu. Ryan Chu stripped away the puck. And now 4 players battling for possession. Whoa, very nice play there. Chinzobu, obviously a very skilled player, and that's going to be ice offside against Mongolia.
One player that has caught my eye as well too is Ryan Chu. I think he has 1 assist, but he's been very noticeable in this game. He's making some nice plays, coming back to check, but just being noticeable here on the ice, being involved, and he's having a good game so far.
13:07 remaining in the second as we approach the halfway marker of the game. 4-1 to score. And we have a player down.
Obviously, the Mongolian is calling for a penalty right off the face-off there, where Yam Yi looked like hit number 19 did a little high there, but.
And the officiating crew having a little chat, a little huddle. Linesman reporting to the referee about what he saw, and the referee decided to assess a high-sticking penalty against Michael Shum. And Shum still, and the alternate captain Ryan Lee talking to the linespersons, demanding an explanation from the officiating crew, but shaking his head back to his own bench. Now Hong Kong, China better get their players up to the face-off circle, otherwise they'd risk another penalty. And I think that's enough chatting. Because the first thing, you have to be invited.
Yeah, again, Hong Kong needs to, again, be careful on these unnecessary
technicalities.
penalties. Well, it looks like it's a double minor given.
Yes, it is.
So probably there must be blood on that play there. So that's why there's a 4-minute power play here for Mongolia.
And it's a double minor to number 16, Michael Shum, for high sticking. So it's a great chance for Mongolia to try and mount a comeback. And a goal is one thing, but the momentum they could gain from scoring in this power play could mean a lot to this Mongolian team. Now we have more chatter between the alternate captain for Hong Kong, China, and complaining about a strap.
No, I think they're complaining about the neck guards. They're checking number 11 here, not having a proper neck guard. So the rule is you have to have a neck protection. So to protect. You can't just have a turtleneck. Turtleneck doesn't protect from any cuts. So obviously Hong Kong is making a complaint. So they are checking it out. Now he's putting back on a proper neck guard, but he needs to go off the ice.
Right.
And wait for the next. Wait for the puck drop. Then he can change back in.
Mongolia with a face-off. Tengel onto the right. Back to Batu. Down deep to Sherembadjir. Back to Batu. Batu whips it in. Puck took a few bounces. Here is Mongolia into the slot. Couldn't quite get through traffic. Hong Kong, China sends it down. The goalie plays it out back to Batu. Batu with a diving sweep gets the puck back out. You can see Batu is really good at hockey sense here. Knows exactly what he needs to do. And he has the ability to do almost everything he wanted. That's quite a good player.
Well,
Hong Kong, China gets it out in the midair and a grab down by Otkonot. Shinzobu on the right side. Stops, looking for Batu for sure. Oh no, he goes in for a shot. This one deflected out of bounds.
I was just going to mention, with Batu's reach, he can shoot the puck no matter what. He can cover half that ice rink.
You know, I always say, like I talked about with Luxembourg, I think a team with someone who could slap the shot, the puck like that, they should use more of that as an advantage. You know, clog the slot area, screen the goalie, deflections, rebounds, just whip him from the blue line. But Batu has a tendency to risk and snap shots from the blue line instead of slapping it. And when you look at the way the stick flexes, it's just incredible that this player can play and is playing in this division. And now Hong Kong, China has a chance on the left side. Not much going on in terms of making a shot. Still 2.5 minutes to go in a power play for Mongolia. On the left side to Gerald, back down, deep centering pass. Batu keeps it in the zone, down deep. Batu asking for the puck. He's too close, and Shinzobu with it. Shot hits a skate. Batu now with the puck, looking with the Shinzobu. Shinzobu with the slap shot. Puck blocked, and Shinzobu gets its own rebound. Hong Kong, China tries to get it out. Now Batu couldn't get it in, and the goalie comes out and play the puck. Back to Batu with 1:50 to go. Batu, nifty move there. Skips past one with a slap. Oh, that's fake one. Fakes me out. And then another one with a snapshot, with a wrist shot. This one went wide. Batu down deep. He's everywhere. He was on the blue line and he's behind the net. And the goalie once again makes a fantastic save.
Justin Chang with a big block there. He limped off, but I mean, that was a great block. You got to do what you got to do for the team to make sure we get this, keep the lead here.
Still 1:33 remaining to the high-sticking double minor penalty to Michael Shum. And you can see Hong Kong has been on the defense as they're down a man for such a long time. And that not only does that do damage to the momentum of the game, it also spent a lot of, the defenders also will spend a lot of energy, exert themselves. And the referee warning for a delay of game, or is it a direct penalty?
Yeah, it looks like Mongolia with their second face-off violation, so it's a delay of game. I just saw the referee come over into the penalty box. It's a delay of game, so I believe it's against Mongolia.
It is. So they wanted to make a change way after their time is up. And now if we don't send someone into the box, there's going to be another delay of game penalty. And it's technicalities like these. as a player, you do need to know your rules well, and you need to use these rules to your advantage. So I guess that's it for the power play.
Well, with that penalty now, the face-off now moves into the Mongolian zone.
It's going to be 4-4 for minute 33. And then Hong Kong, China will have a shortened man advantage over Mongolia. And here comes something else from Mr. Referee Carlos Trabajo.
You know what? Hong Kong's now getting called for a delay of game because they too were warned, and they had 5 players on, which it should be only 4, so it now looks like.
And now Batu is learning it. He's signaling to his teammates to make that changes fast. Get to the face-off circle and get ready for the face-off. Because what the referee's doing right now is to show you guys he does not tolerate any of this. You guys should know your rules. And it's going to be a 5-on-4 if I'm reading the signs correctly.
Yeah, this is actually very tricky. So Mongolia was started with the power play, and because 2 penalties were called at the same time, even though there's a face-off there,
technically, yeah,
it's considered coincidental. So therefore, the teams will now play 5-on-4 with those new penalties, waiting for a whistle for those players to come on.
So everything cancels out, and Mongolia still has their power play. So I always emphasize this. Well, I don't know about you, but as a goalie, there's not much I could do on the ice. I always tell my players, just use your. Oh, here comes Hong Kong, and just before Hong Kong has possession of the puck, I think it's a stick infraction, because Otgonot, number 5 on Mongolia, he went down with a stick on his face. It's a hooking penalty.
Yeah, it looked like Brian Tang stole the puck from number 5, but the referee called a hooking penalty, and now Hong Kong will be down 2 players.
Just as Hong Kong was getting ready to get the puck out, the stick was left on Otgonot's body, and Otgonot fell as a result. And now this referee is going to play the hard line with everyone. So right now, I think the most important message for all the players is to just play nice. Be quick on your changes. Don't give the referees any reason to assess any more of these technical penalties, because these penalties are not worth it. Here is another one. Referee let it play. And these include not going to the referee to argue and be courteous to their officiating crew. Here is Batu with the puck. Sends it to the side to Chinsobu. Back to Batu. Chinsobu getting close. Shot. Rebound. And play was high sticking. Or the puck must have hit something, the light fixtures. All I saw was the linesperson signaling, pointing upwards. And right now, the worst thing you can do for your team is to go argue and earn yourself a penalty. Right now, the referee, Carlos Trabajo, he is onto every single thing. He's sending a signal to these players. So Mongolia with a 5-on-3 for 29 seconds. Mongolia on the blue line. Geralt to Chinsobu. Chinsobu moves in. Back to Otgonot. Batu with a snapshot, and goalie made the save. "13 seconds on the 5-on-3.
Yeah, Yamya with a nice face-off win, but even though with the face-off win, they were unable to clear that puck, so they got to make sure they take advantage of that when they win the draw, because it's very hard to win against Batu. He's winning most of the draws.
Mongolia almost another late change here. The referee looking over at the Mongolia bench. You know, you just have to be familiar with the rules. Here comes Shinzobu with a shot, gloved down by the goalie. And you know, when you're trained as a referee, you know all that stuff. You know the hand signals, you know why the referee's arm go up, why there's a whistle during the changes. But as a player, sometimes you don't know. So it's up to the coaches to educate the players and let them know what to look for in these situations. Here is Batu. Here's a long shot, blocked, rebounded by Mongolia. Michael Shum back out, joining the attack, or rather the defense. 41 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Here is another shot by Shinzobu, keeping the puck in the zone. Here's Batu. I thought he was, a nice pass by Batu. Here's a shot on the wrong side of the net. Here's Shinzobu with a shot, blocked. 23 seconds still in the power play. Mongolia with all sorts of pressure. Batu centering pass. Here is Shinzobu. On to the right to number 24, Tiren Bajir. Tiren Bajir back to Batu. Shot, goalie made the save, and we have another whistle.
Justin Chang with two huge blocks as you see him hunched down here. Guys, he's getting a high five from his teammates. I mean, these shot blocks, I'm sure Moses is going to thank him later, but they're great blocks, and you know, any of those, sometimes those shots that get through, you never know what's going to happen, but great job there by Justin.
9 more seconds in the power play for Mongolia. Hong Kong could hold this off. It would be a great boost for morale. Here comes Hong Kong China, number 8, local Wong chasing after the puck. And now teams are back to 5 apiece. Isaac Chan on the right side, trying to send it in. Now Zhou Viwat dumps it back in. Mongolia sends it out. Here's Bob Ngan. Ngan check long. A lot of stick work here. Shinzobu intercepted by Brian Tang. Brian Tang with some moves into the slot with a shot deflected out of bounds. 7:46 to go in the period.
Oh, wow, great penalty killing by Hong Kong. That long 5-on-3. They had the double minor to Michael Shum. Great job, a huge boost. And let's see what they can do here with 7:46 left in the second period.
Face up in the Mongolian zone, 7:46 to go, 3-goal lead still with Hong Kong, China. Face up win for Mongolia. A lot of sticks flying around behind the net. Here's a jam in front of the goalie, and Mongol made the save. Bob Ngan jostling for position, now hurries out into the corner to get the puck. A lot of physical, chippy plays around. Not so much physical, but more chippy than anything else. Here's Bill Goon. Sharp angle shot. Those are not going to beat Moses Fung. Here's another one. Battle in the corner. 7:05 to go in the period. Hong Kong really wants to win this game, and Mongolia also want points from this game. Here is Kaka Cheng, number 18. Leaves it back for Ryan Lee. Ryan Lee looks, turns around with a shot, goalie pad save, and we have a stoppage. And the stoppage play was blown dead by the referee.
I'm a little puzzled. What was the stoppage in play here?
And Batu talking to the referee.
There's an injured player here on the far side beside the Hong Kong goaltender Moses Fong here. So the trainer's coming out just check on to see how the player is. He's hunched down. I can't make it out who it is, Scotty, but I think that's why the whistle was blown. So it looks like the trainer is signaling for the stretcher. Hopefully player is okay. We have our medics looking right now at the player. It looks like it's their assistant captain, number 24.
Is this play right here? Is a shoulder into the boards. The player's okay now, back into the bench, and play resumes with 6:40 to go in the second period. Here's a scare for Hong Kong Chinese fans, and now they flip it into the attacking zone. Mongolian players a little slower. Oh, here's a little chip. And now lots happening around the Mongolian net.
Well, if Hong Kong's smart, they'll skate away because there was a delayed penalty, I believe to number 10, Batu, on that cross-check in the neutral zone. The referee picked it up. So Batu's going off for cross-check. Hong Kong will be now on the power play.
Lots of pushing and shoving going on, and I guess we're going home late. A lot of stoppages.
I think there's been a confusion here. It looks like the power play is for Hong Kong, but the linesman's putting the face-off in the Hong Kong zone here.
Well, over on the other side, is everything started with Brian Tang with a slash.
I guess Hong Kong was also assessed the penalty there, and teams will now play. It was coincidental, but now play 5-on-5.
It's a nice poke check by Mongolia with a shot here through traffic. Puck ended up behind the net. A very chippy period, and that is something Hong Kong doesn't want. Great saves by the goalie. Now, Hong Kong, China, they want to play the game with speed, but now, every now and then, the play is being stopped. A little chip here, a little push there, a little argument there, and that's breaking up the rhythm for these Hong Kong Chinese players.
Well, probably the coach doesn't mind this because you don't want to be trading chances, especially with a 4-1 lead. So, as long as they try to stay out of the box, as we always say, and they'll be fine. But they had a power play, potential power play, but it was nullified with another penalty.
A whole load of penalties in this period now. Penalty numbers of 14-8. Hong Kong taking so many unnecessary penalties. Bill Goon lost his footing, gave away the puck with a shot with Kakao Cheng. Puck deflected. Number 22, Batsai Khan Dogun. Chiren Bajir to Geralt. Back to Chiren Bajir with a shot. This one went wide. Or perhaps Moses Thung had a piece of it. Here's Otgonot on the right side. Here's an elbow from the back, and there is going to be another one. Hong Kong, China could not stop themselves from taking penalties, and they're falling into the trap.
It looks like Zhang's going off. It looks like a high sticking, but he did. I'm not saying he got away with it, but there was no call on the first hit. But then, as the player was down, he went at him, and this is where the penalty occurred.
So the first infraction was let off, and yes, he went after the player on a second attempt, and that's what got the referee's attention. And don't forget, the referees we're getting here are very high-level referees, and over the past week, every single time, the referees are right there in front of the action. The referees are always looking, always checking. And just sometimes players forget, they thought they could get away with it. It's one thing if the referee let play go, but a lot of things are being let go at the referee's discretion when things become too obvious. You leave the referee no choice but to call it. And here's Shinzobu. Interception by Hong Kong. China sends it out. Number 12, Bayan Munk. Tries to get it to Otgonot. Bayan Munk gets it back.
Ooh, watch out.
Very, very chippy period here. Shinzobu checked. The shot deflected. Things are not going well this period for Hong Kong, China. This is going to ruin their rhythm and momentum. Here's a one-timer, and the goalie made a save.
Big save by Moses there. Great save as he got his right pad down. Remember last game, Hong Kong had the lead, and when they start taking these penalties, you're going to give more chances to the opponent. You don't want that momentum shift. So we got to stay out of the box there if Hong Kong wants to, keep this lead.
But one thing I'm noting, because with all these penalties, it can't be their intention, but they're quickly tiring out the first line for Mongolia. Because Batu, Shinzobu, these guys are going to be out there. Otgonot, but I'm noticing the Mongolian squad, they're slowing down a little bit. So maybe it's not an intentional effect, but they're getting something out of this. It's the tiring of these top line forwards on Mongolia.
Well, this is where Hong Kong's slight advantage is they're playing three lines, so whereas Mongolia really only has 1.5 lines.
And here you go, here is Shinzobu again. Shinzobu forcing his way through. A couple of sticks, a couple of pulls, and a hit here. Referee happy to let all these slide by, and play goes on. Mongolia back to Otgonot, and we have lots going on. Other than a whistle, we have chatter, we have player pushing, we have late hits, and we're still having players pushing at each other. And we also have a player down. Lots to go. And again, these players are just testing whether the referee's good or not. There's too much for me to play. Well, I'm just going to pick 12 of these seconds to play. It's just lots to go on. A scrum in the corner. Here's a hit from number 9. Here's another jab. And now we're going to have a discussion, a little huddle here.
I think they're going to talk about when it looks like the play where the Hong Kong players that went, Batu came over and gave him a pretty high stick right in the mouth there. Batu never gets off, but you know he's in the bench right now, so I'm not sure if you're able to see that, and I'm not sure if the linesman caught that.
And we're here starting with a scrum over here, and then Mongolia with possession. Here is Otgonot going in for a shot. First gets checked into the face, and then another shot from the back, and that's a no-no. And now we have Batu coming in, and with his size, I'm not surprised the Hong Kong player's down for such a long time. And then more chatter from Batu. I'm sure the disciplinary board is going to ask me for this clip here. And there's more chatter, more pushing, and on number 21 being pulled, and the referee saw them both and assessed a penalty to both of them. Number 21, Hong Kong thought he's getting away with it, and he got called as well. So this is a very good referee. He catches every single little thing. And I don't know, just do not test this referee anymore. Just play your game. This is ice hockey, not a contact like martial arts sport.
Well, with the three-man system, it's also quite hard, but he's actually has two very good linesmen.
Yes.
And the linesmen has really helped him with a lot of stuff. Like you remember earlier in the first period where they helped out with the penalty shot.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're discussing right now. What they saw, they told the referee. Now he's pulling them over, and it looks like he's going to be ejected from the sounds of it, from the looks of it.
Batu is gone. Oh goody! My goodness. Now Batu is gone. One of the biggest threats.
Now we're not sure what exactly the call is yet. I mean, it could. We're just waiting for the official call. I mean, it could be a minor in 10 minutes, but let's just wait for the official call to see, what the penalty was assessed. Now I know that there was a whistle obviously earlier. I wasn't sure if there's going to be other penalties called in that same play. So let's just wait for the officials to sort all this out.
Right now, number 21, Hong Kong, China. Isaac Chan is already in the box for roughing, as well as number 9, Jadamba Naranbatar for roughing. That was the little pull on the face mask. And Isaac Chan. And now number 5, Otgonot, is going into the box. I'm not sure if he's serving. He's going to be serving the major for Batu. And we're still waiting for the referee to sort things out. And I think he sorted everything out. And so Hong Kong, China will have a 5-minute major, power play. A 5-minute power play. And Batu is gone. He has a game misconduct on the board for 20 minutes and a major for roughing served by number 5, Otgonot Puri Dava. And that's it for the penalties. Isaac Chan and Jadamba with each coincidental minors, and Batu with a major. So hopefully that puts a stop to everything, because this is not, Hong Kong scores. And right now, it'd be smart for the Hong Kong Chinese coach to tell their players to limit their sellies and not over-celebrate.
Looks like Yamiel there with the rebound. A big power play goal here. Now, we want to remind the folks that are watching on a major penalty. That penalty is still there. Hong Kong can score as many as during this 5 minutes. So this is the reason why you see the play right now is still 5-on-4.
And losing Batu is a huge blow to the Mongolian squad. And now Chinzobu, number 11, and Jadamba will have to step it up, but it doesn't help that Jadamba is now in the box. Nyandamar, number 7, tries to chip it out. Brendan Choi to the left. Ryan Tang with a sideways pass. One times it, missed the open net. Here's Ryan Chu with a shot deflected twice. Behind the net, 5-1-4 still for another 350. And this major penalty is going to go all the way into this third period. Shinzo, oh, here is another one.
Looks like Ryan Chu is going off now for, I believe, it looks like I cross-checked, but I mean, he didn't really do anything. And
no, I think the players went after each other at the same time, but it's Ryan Chu's stick and arm went up a little too high, and he didn't fall down.
Yeah.
And it's a roughing call from the referee, and by now the player should know the referee's not, he's holding the line tight, let's put it that way. And now this is looking ugly. Not only am I going home a lot later than I wanted, this game is broken up into chunks and pieces, and that's not what ice hockey is all about. And hopefully the coaches during the intermission, the full 18 minutes of them, can talk some sense into the players. And right now, 5-1. It could have been a full 5-minute power play for Hong Kong China. Now with Ryan Chu's penalty, it's been shortened. Wang Qingyu backhands it into the corner. Shinzobu asking Poland for the puck in the neutral zone. The pass wasn't there at all. Shinzobu with the forward check. Also going into the boards is Geralt. Ryan Lee on to the right, left side. Forward play. Mongolia comes out with the puck. Shinzobu. You can see his speed a lot lower now, and his moves slower than the first period. He goes in for a change immediately, and we have another. I did not see what happened, but there's another whistle.
Well, that's
that's it, because that's the end of the period. I thought something was going on.
That was a very eventful second period here. A lot of penalties. We got some goals. We got some emotions. And I think we're going to have a pretty big third period coming up, Scotty. A lot of fireworks, do you think? What do you think?
I'm going to call my wife and tell her I'm going to be late for... I don't know, that's joking aside. This is not a very good period as a hockey fan. Of course, for Hong Kong Chinese fans, this is a good period because they are now up by 4 goals. But, you know, as a commentator, I'm sure you too, we love hockey. We want to see fast-flowing, good, solid ice hockey. And this was chippy. Not the best brand of hockey I think IIHF is trying to promote.
Well, I mean, like you said, there's different types of games and whatnot, and this is a bit chippier, physical game. And actually, it's actually a good learning experience for all the players. Because, like I said, you're going to have to learn to play different types of games and see how you're going to manage. And, right now they have a 5-1 lead heading to the third period for Hong Kong.
I think that's also what the referee, Carlos Probajo, is trying to educate these players. Is that, I'm the referee right here. I'm just calling the shots here. Guys, just play by the rules. And if you don't want to play by the rules, you're going to hit the box.
Yeah, and the referee's calling both ways, and they explained already to the teams, the coaches, the players, and what he's calling, and the players should, adapt to that.
We'll take a short break here, 16 and a half minutes remaining for the break, and we'll take the third period to you guys in a bit.
睇
Welcome back to DB Ice Rink here in Discovery Bay, Hong Kong, China. This is the 2026 IIHF World Championships Division 3B. On the fourth day, the final game for today between Mongolia and the host, Hong Kong, China. A very, very busy second period. We'll report all those penalties to you in a second. But first, a little stats for everyone involved. After 2 periods of play, shots on goals 31-28 in favor of Mongolia. But the penalty minutes are the story of the night, 35-20 in favor of, I don't know, in favor? Mongolia with 35 and Hong Kong, China with 20. That's a very, very busy period. My name is Scotty Yang, alongside with Keith Fong, Venue and Operations Director of the tournament. This is the third period. Here's a quick shot and they score! Right off the bat, Hong Kong, China scores again.
Well, who else? Brian Tang. As you're looking for the replay there, he comes down the middle, probably uses the defense as a little bit of a screen and goes right through the goalie's arm. We call it the 6 hole, I believe. Let's take a look here. There we go, just right underneath the armpit, and Hong Kong now leads 6-1.
Look at how far the goalie challenges out. Very technical goalkeeper. And I think they have made a goalie substitution. In net now is Sol Bileg. I'm sure I heard. (6-1) Hong Kong, China, and still 8 minutes 29 to go in the major penalty. And latest updated by the officials, the penalty to Batu Baturovic has been changed to a fighting penalty. That's going to be a 5-minute. And Keith, a fighting penalty, it's a automatic review, or is it an automatic suspension?
Well, I think all major penalties always is reviewed, and I'm sure the discipline committee is going to look at that and then decide on if there's any more suspensions to Batu.
One minute to go. Losing Batu is a huge blow, and hopefully head coach Mergen Arsland has enough depth in his squad. Oh, another goal. And this is going downhill for Mongolia.
As you mentioned, losing Batu, Mongolia is a different team here, and Bobby Yang with the sharp angle shot finally gets a monkey off his back as he comes in, rips it top corner. Bobby needed that, and then I'm going to say his name again because I promised that when he scores I'm going to give him some love. But
and we have another goalie change again. In net now, it's Monkbold again. It's an interesting decision as Sodbilek just played for a couple of minutes, well, not even a couple of minutes, and he's gone. Now we have an arm up by the referee again, and looks like Mongolia will have another penalty.
But keep in mind the two goals that the Hong Kong scored, the major penalty still is not over yet. There's still 14 seconds left in that major penalty, and now Mongolia is taking another penalty, cross-checking penalty, and they're going to be down 2 men for 14 seconds.
I think at this point it's really tough for Mongolia to come back, and I would be worried about Batu, the possibility of a suspension. I'm sure the disciplinary board will be looking at his case. But right now, what's important for Mongolia, this game is one thing, but you still have 2 more games to go, and right now what should be on the Mongolian players and coaching staff's mind is now you're playing for survival. You are playing to remain in this division, and they will have to duel it out with the Philippines to stay in their division, and that game will come on the final day, which is day 7, Sunday, April the 19th. That's going to be the 1 o'clock game between Mongolia and the Philippines. And for the referee to change the penalty to a fighting penalty, it's going to be a huge disadvantage for Mongolia, because I'm sure in international play, a fighting is an automatic suspension. Here is another goal by Brian Tang.
Brian Tang once again. Power move right down the middle. Makes a move, goes 5-hole, and the route is on.
Well, the Mongolians, they do have something to play for. They need to get their players' spirit back up.
But here's also one more thing. They can't be too frustrated and maybe take even more, not just stupid penalties, but maybe, you know, unnecessary, but major penalties or something like that, that maybe they get suspended as well, right? So you don't want to lose more players.
Eight once the score, still 16 minutes and change remaining in the game. Right now, Mongolia looks like just a pan of sand, disjointed, and losing their spiritual leader turns out to be a huge deal, maybe bigger than what we thought. And there's a good chance for the younger players to get more ice time this way.
I'm not sure if you agree with me, Scotty, but with Batu on that team looked huge.
They do.
Without him, it does not look as big as before. Now, Hong Kong with another goal. It looks like number 18, Zhang, I believe, as we take a look at the play behind the net. Goalie makes Mr. save. Now, it could have been, yeah, it looks like Zhang's goal, and it trickled behind the goaltender. And Hong Kong now leads 9-1.
Now both teams have to figure out a way to finish the game off. The winner probably decided already at this point. But I do hope this game can end peacefully. Right now, there isn't any doubt. Well, here is number 7, Mongolia coming in. Centering pass. The best thing that could happen to Mongolia right now is a goal. It's a wake-up call. They probably need a goal of their own to get their senses back online. And, you know, Mongolia, they had a great second period to start. They had a great start to the second period. They drew Hong Kong China into penalty trouble. At a point, they had almost unlimited power plays to work with, and everything just fell on their, like the cards fell the right way for Mongolia, but somehow, for some odd reason, things went the other way, and everything just becomes disconnected for this Mongolian team. Everything going for them, and now everything is going against them. It's a strange turn of fortune, this game we have here.
We talk about momentum swings, and that could have been a momentum swing for Mongolia, but they failed to capitalize on their power plays, and like you said, everything went down south.
Yeah, and it goes both ways. You had the young Hong Kong Chinese boys unable to keep their cool, and they ended up in penalty trouble. And on the other side, Mongolians, they do exactly the same thing. They were unable to keep their cool, and now it cost them their game, and it cost them their superstar Batu, possibly for more than a game.
So here's what Hong Kong obviously needs to do. They obviously have a 8-goal lead. They need to make sure they still play the game, play well, don't give up any chances that creates bad habits, and also play safe. For Mongolia, they need to, like you said, get a goal, get back into it, and get ready for the next game.
Yeah, for Hong Kong China, this is not the time to get hungry for goals, because you have an 8-goal lead with 13 minutes to go, and I don't think there is any need to score any more goals. Now, I'm not saying don't score any goals, but don't go overzealous about going all the way for a goal. If you don't need to get towards the net, just, I don't know, dump it in, play it safe, cycle the puck, stay away from hits. Remember that you have other games to play, because now with this win, Hong Kong is in the in a mix for a podium finish. And you do need to finish the rest of your tournament with wins to secure a good result.
That's another unnecessary penalty there. Yam Yeo there took out number 5.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You also, other than staying out of the box, you want to avoid being suspended, serious infractions, and you don't want to get hurt. You have 2 more games to play. You are not winning the tournament yet. You don't have any silverware in your pockets yet, so you have a lot more to play for. And same goes to Mongolia. They have the division to play for. They want to stay in the division. They don't want to get sent down to Division 4. So it's to these teams' best interest to end this game in a peaceful note. Here is a shot blocked by Brandon Choi. Shinzobu is calling for the puck, and now Hong Kong China sends it down the ice. 12:20 to go. And I was just saying, like early on in the game, I was talking about the new generation. Their game is not as chippy as before. They're playing with a lot more finesse, and they're kind of not like their old style. And hey, the roots, it just gets back into them. It's causing a lot of problems for them right now. But at least the major penalties all done and said and done. And you do notice the speed of these Mongolian players. They're going down. Yes, Nyandabar sending the puck towards the net. Now better structural play here. Otgonot couldn't get to the puck in time. Justin Cheng sends it sideways, and for a change.
Justin Chang's been doing an awesome job here on killing the penalties. You remember that earlier he blocked a couple of shots here in the second period, and then another great shift. And with 17 seconds left, looks like a good chance Hong Kong will kill off this penalty.
Jiren Bajir on the right side sends it to number 6, Gerald on the left side. A couple of hits here. Referee pointing at the puck, calling, I'm seeing everything. And this is also another good example of how a 3-man referee system can work. There's a goal. And the linesperson calls it for the referee.
Number 9, Ryan Chu, already having a great game, makes a nice move, dekes out the goaltender here. 10-1, double digits now for Hong Kong.
I need to give him credit. No celebrations after the goal. I think that's the right thing to do. You know, we love some peace around the world, right?
You know, I totally agree with you, and I'm sure the coaching staff have told these guys that, hey, you know, you got a chance, you're going to score, great, but we don't need to rub it in. And that's what he didn't do.
10.5 minutes to go. Coming in, a little tripped up there. Tony Leung, the captain. Now the Hong Kong bench calling for a penalty, and we got more stuff going on.
Yeah, Tony Leung with a nice hit on the side there, but again, you see the frustration on the Mongolian side, number 12, with the retaliation. And the referees, rightfully so, calling a cross-checking penalty.
So we have another power play for Hong Kong, China with 10-11 remaining in a period. This game is quickly going sour. Well, it's been sour for a whole period now, or 20 minutes now. Here is Yam Yao on the left side, back to Ryan Lee. Now tip for these young men, don't hold on to the puck for too long. You don't want to invite trouble. You know what's been going on this game. Get the puck out of the way. Here's a shot block, another tip towards the goal. Here's a backhand shot, or backhand tip to the corner. That goes the other way. Moses Fung, a great game today. His play gives headaches to the coach, because now the coach doesn't know who to send the next game. Both Rexton Choi and Moses Fung both played really, really well. And I think this is a great game for Moses, especially given what happened during the under-18 tournament. Oh, this is a great goal by Hong Kong, China.
It looks like Ryan Chu again. Off there on the left wing side here. As we take a look at the replay. As he one times it, top corner. 11-1 now. You know, we talk about the game here, and I hear, with all these penalties that's happening, it just means that this level is getting better and better. So I think the referee has done as best as he can. But
I think he's done a great job.
But would another referee 4-man system would help? Possibly, but he's calling what he can, and he's made the calls, and with obviously the help of the linesmen. And but my comment is that maybe even in these divisions, the IIHF will probably consider 4-man system down the road.
It's very tough I've been a referee in a 3-man. With my poor skating skills, it's really difficult for me, but I do have my linesmen to work with me. And these 3 fine gentlemen they've done a very good job. The communication between them And of course, credits to Carlos Trabajo, the referee. I know he can't be everywhere at the same time, but he's always, even though he's behind play, he's always has his eyes set on the plays, has a very good awareness on what goes around him and around the player, and he has a very, very good sense on what to do and what to call, and he's not afraid to consult his linespersons. So, I mean, they've done a great job.
Well, we say the officiating crew is the third team out there, so he has some very good help too as well with the linesmen.
Love save by Moses Fung. 7:25 remaining.
And like you said, Hong Kong doesn't need any more goals.
Nope.
What they just need to make sure they do is just play some really good, sound defense. Let Moses see the shots. Finish up the game on a good note.
Calm down the rest of the teammates, I guess. Just enjoy the final 7.5 minutes of the game. The worst thing that can happen to you is, you just forget about. You just went. Oh, there you go. There's another hit. And the worst thing is you forget about playing safe. You forget about you have any more games to play. And towards the end of the game, you get injured. You're unable to participate. That's going to be the worst thing that's going to happen to a player. And it's not the right time to let the emotions get over you. Here is Bilgun. I mean, it's one thing to protect your goalie, but I don't think it hurts if you let off a goal or two right now at this moment. You do not want to get yourself into trouble. And when you get yourself into trouble, you get your team into trouble. Look at Batu. He got himself into trouble, and now his entire team is suffering because they don't have him on the ice.
That was a huge hit there by Brendan Choi. Gets a pat on the back here by teammates there. I mean, the referee's talking to it, but it was a good hit, good clean hit.
And without Batu, Hong Kong, China's shot count is way up. In the 13th, sorry, getting too tired. In the third period, the shot count 15-6. Hong Kong, China was actually outshot in the second period, 19-4. That's how good Mongolia had it in the second period. And now everything going south for Mongolia. And it's just unfortunate. It's Ryan Chu with a shot, goalie with a blocker save. Right now, if I were the coach for Mongolia, I'd be sending out the substitute goalie.
We just got like 6 minutes left here in the third period. Nice win there by Ryan Wong. Obviously with the 11-1 lead here, you see more ice time for some of the other players that probably has played less in the game. So a good opportunity for them to see what they can do here.
.518 to go. We don't know until the 5:14 to go. Here's number 9, Jadamba. And with now you see the importance of Batu. Because without Batu, they have to split up Jadamba and Chinzobu. And there's just not this super player who could play all the positions to direct traffic in for you to get to. It's Watson Lock. It's a hand pass. Now, one thing I'd also like to remind, if any fans are listening live right now, play a good host. At the end of the game, you know, applause for both teams. You know, just play nice and enjoy the rest of the night. I'm sure everyone wanted to support their own team, be happy for the win. It's very important to be courteous, as we want to show ourselves to be good hosts of the tournament. Here's Wang Qingyu spinning around, send it into the neutral zone. Finally, some proper hockey, maybe. But goes all the way back, and it's going to be an icing call against Mongolia.
Well, like I said, I mean, right now, Hong Kong just wants to kill that time with 4:10 left. The game is pretty much done, but we want to make sure there's no injuries or anything that will affect their next game. So let's just hope they kill off this 4 minutes left here remaining in the game.
Exactly 4 minutes to go. Plays onside. Baogun took a hit. You see, after all this, the Mongolian side totally disjointed. All these attacks up front, they do not connect. They're just playing lost. Here's another shot. Right now, the only player, well, maybe not the only, one of the few players on the Mongolian side who's has a clear head is probably the goalie. And, unfortunately for him, he's on the short. He drew the short end of the stick. Here's Jinzobu moving in. Great job by Brendan Choi, not going into or checking him and let him pass. Taken down by a Mongolian player. Referee let it go. 3 minutes remaining. It's a little hook there. Another player brought down. On the right side, down deep. Nice goal. The captain, Chinzobu, with a wonderful slap shot. And finally, things clicked for Mongolia, but that's way, way too late. It's a similar play style. They've been playing like this the entire game, but it's just unfortunate.
Well, even though it's only like a couple minutes left on the game, and hopefully Mongolia can use this and build on it as they get ready for tomorrow's game.
And tomorrow, Mongolia plays DPR Korea at 4:30. Hong Kong, China play host to the Philippines at 8:30 at night.
looks like Brian Tang here just assessed a cross-checking penalty with 2:15 left in the third period. Once again, we, for Hong Kong's sake, we've got to just be careful there that nothing major comes out of this, obviously.
Final 2 minutes of the game. (11-2) to score.
Hong Kong's doing a fine job here, killing off this penalty here. Minute 14 left here in the third period. Mongolia's not really getting much, obviously, with Hong Kong creating a nice tight box, clearing that puck out, and letting Moses see all these shots here. All right, we're in the final minute here in the third period, and there's 40 seconds left on the penalty to Brian Tang. Looks like an offside play here. And looks like some conversation here. Number 12. Probably didn't like, obviously, the way the Brendan Choi's been playing, his physicality.
Here's another warning. 50 more seconds to go before the rink erupts. And applause and cheers for the East Hong Kong Chinese fans. And hopefully they play nice as well. Because we do have Mongolian fans in the audience. But it's a game where both teams lots of lessons to learn. I must say, this game not the best of games I've seen. And Hong Kong was fortunate that Mongolia wasn't able to keep their cool, because they were fighting very hard to get out of a funk in the second period. And that's when I thought things could go either way. And final score 11-2. Hong Kong, China wins the game.
Well, another big game by Brian Tang. Moses Fung coming in, making some great saves. Ryan Chu with a huge game as well. Offensively, he was all over the place. And also great to see Bobby Yang getting onto the scoreboard as he's gained confidence as we move along. And shout out to Justin Chang for his fine play on the penalty kill.
And a final shot count between these two teams. Hong Kong, China with 46. Mongolia with 45. I would say it's a good win for Hong Kong, China, but it's not an awesome win for them. And we'll keep our viewers updated on the situation on Batu tomorrow. I'm sure the officials are going to have a talk about what he is going to get. And here comes the time for the best players for both teams.
Presenting the awards is Raul Gomez. Moses Fung picking up the player of the game for Team Hong Kong, China. Well deserved. Great to see the two young goalies from Hong Kong supporting each other there.
Congratulations to Hong Kong, China. Spent the past few minutes updating the final standings. These are according to the IIHF official standings. Hong Kong with a win goes up into the second place. They go into a three-way tie with Luxembourg and DPR Korea, and there's a huge complicated system on a tiebreaker between the three teams. But that's not it for the tournament. They still have two more games to play, and right now Uzbekistan in the lead, Hong Kong, China in second place, Luxembourg in third place, DPR Korea in fourth place, Philippines in fifth place, and Mongolia. They are going to be fighting for their lives tomorrow and Sunday. And don't forget, tomorrow we will have more games for you. 1 o'clock p.m. Uzbekistan versus Luxembourg, Mongolia versus DPR Korea, and Philippines versus Hong Kong, China on day 5. Any comments before you go, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned before, I mean, there's all sorts of types of hockey games, and this one here obviously a little more physical, a little more chippy, but for the younger players that are on this team, for the Team Hong Kong, China, I mean, they're going to learn how to play these type of games, and I thought they handled themselves very well, and congratulations to them on this big win.
That's all the time we have, and until tomorrow, we'll see you. This is IIHF Hockey in Hong Kong, China.